And so there's a whole area here for his guests, and there's rooms, there's gardens. You can see the pool, a gazebo in the middle of the pool which had a red tiled roof on it, and then green gardens. He had water that he brought here by aqueduct, and there was a lot of pillars all around that with a tiled roof around the pillars, and you just see gardens, water. You don't feel like you're in the desert at the time because Herod wants this to be a beautiful oasis, but it has to be a place that he could escape to in case he was ever attacked in the area. And remember we said on the first day that from the time that he had the incident with those Parthian Persians, it had an effect on his psyche, and for the rest of his life he's always worried about someone attacking him and trying to take his throne. So basically, he's building fortresses all over the country from that point on. It is here that he almost died, almost by the hands of the Parthians, but what happened was he was trying to escape towards Masada to leave his family there. Masada is further down the Judean desert, closer to the Dead Sea, and en route to Masada, he was routed by the Parthians right here, and he had a massive battle with them. At some point he thought his mother, Kypros, was killed, and so he really adored his mother, and thinking that she was killed, he decided to kill himself. He decided all was lost, and he decided to kill himself, and just before he did it, something turned inside of him. He sort of had a switch, and he just suddenly turned on the Parthians, started fighting like an absolute lion, and commanding his soldiers as well, and from that point on they gained the victory, and he managed to escape by the skin of his teeth, albeit, but managed to escape and get to Masada and leave his family there, and then he left on his journey to Rome to get help. That is the defining turning point of Herod's life, right here, when he has that battle with him, and it's like he suddenly turns from a shy governor, not all that secure of himself, into this lion of what became a king as soon as he came back from Rome. And he is not going to give in to anything or anyone. He had this turning point here. It made him into a man all of a sudden, and from this point on, he's on his way to becoming king, and he rules very fiercely. Now, Augustus said about him, actually it wasn't Augustus, it was said about him that he rose like a fox, he ruled like a lion, and he died like a dog, which is true. When he died, he was old. He was a mental basket case, but he was also physically sick with so many ailments. When they read the reports by Josephus and others of what he was like when he died, and it says he had his breath smelled like a pig, and he had boils, big boils all over his skin. There's a lot of descriptions, and doctors try to figure out what he had. They've come up with a list of stuff that was wrong with him, including a possible couple of venereal diseases, but the guy was really sick and a mental case. By the way, so much so that when he was totally on his deathbed, he gave orders for 700 of the leaders of the Jews to be arrested, and they were all held in an amphitheater in Jericho, with strict orders that as soon as he dies, they are all to be put to death, because he knew the Jews don't like it. He wanted the day of his death not to be a day of joy for the Jews, but a day of intense mourning. And so he gave strict orders for all 700 to be butchered as soon as he dies. Fortunately, when he died, his family and members of his staff ignored the orders and release those people. He dies in Jericho, and there's a procession that brings his body to here, to the Herodium, to be buried at the side of the hill. His tomb was only discovered in April of 2007, 4 years ago.
Wow.
Have you caught your breath? Can we move up?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay, let's
That's
go.
good.
Sprint.